Hello and welcome to episode 16 of our Let's Play for The Lord of the Rings. In the last episode we defeated the spirit of Moria Doom, and that was the last thing we needed to do before we could reclaim Durin's axe. So the first thing we're going to do in this video is get right on that. And before we finish this episode we'll have the most powerful axe that you can get. And not only that, but it'll also give a pretty good stat boost to all of your characters. So you'll want to start out by going back down to the 3rd level. And we'll come out here in the maze that having the golden wheel will help you navigate. It doesn't really become much of a maze after that. So what we need to do is to go back down to the 3rd deep. And like I said, we're on the 3rd level currently. So taking these little hallways, we can go down one level at a time. So we're on the 2nd level now. It's the orc drums again, but we only have one orc to deal with this time. Alright, there we go. We've already read that about this being the Miners' Hall and more orcs. Just another one. I don't know why they're only attacking us in ones now, when they at least had 2 before. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, it's this one right here. So now we are on the 1st level and deep, and this is back where the well was. And if you remember, Gandalf said the air smelled foul, and it descended if we go to the left, and this will actually take us to the 3rd deep. Gimli coughs and states the obvious. The air is foul, foul indeed. It stinks of orcs and their kind. We must be very careful in these depths. And another lone orc. So we'll go back to that area that we skipped before over here. And since we have both lady tokens, we can pass the magical barrier here. The passage to the side of the bridge is protected by a stone troll. Well, if we use our perception here, we can find something written. Carved into the floor in large area free of dust are the words, "For Durin's child, the sharp eye will show the way." Yeah, if you do that, the troll won't attack you. Otherwise, the stone troll will come to life and attack, but not like you can deal with one troll anyways. There's a heavy stone slab covering a hole. You cannot move it with your hands. Well, Sam should be able to move it with his pry bar. The slab moves aside. There's an opening in the floor here. Now you could climb down it, but this is one of those instances where you'll want to use the rope, because it'll save you some damage and it'll make it so much easier coming back out. Because now you have the option to climb the rope here. If you hadn't, there would only be one specific spot you had to stand and use climb, and it's just trial and error moving inch by inch trying to find it. So that'll make things much easier for us. So now we're in Durin's Deep, and we're coming up on his axe. So this is the place where his axe will be. You have come to a locked door. See if we can find out anything else about it. The door appears to be locked. It's the most useless paragraph ever. But luckily we don't need to get in this door. I'm sure we could just picklock it if we wanted to. But this is the one on the left is actually the one you want. There's sort of a maze thing back here, but if you go to the door on the left and just keep along the left wall, it'll take you back to the area you need to go. And this is what we're looking for here. You come in this little indentation here. There's an opening in the ceiling, so we can climb up here. Your footsteps sound hollow here. The wall is emblazoned with the symbol of the hammer of Durin. Well, we might be able to dig for something. We should use Durin's pick since this is his place. A granite statue of a solemn dwarf appears before you. It declares in a thundering voice, "There are 2 matters of which I am permitted to discuss. The first is the number of dwarven fathers. The second is the maker of the dwarves." Well, we know from the beginning there were 9 rings for the men and 7 for the dwarf lords. So That must be the number of the fathers that he wants. Your fate may depend on your questions. Choose your words well. So we'll say 7 for the first question. The axe of the eldest of the 7 may be obtained when hammer, anvil, and chisel are put in place. Well, we already have all those. Again about the statue. So the next question is the father of the dwarves. And we read somewhere that the golden wheel was made by Alway, but actually the dwarven name for him is Mahal, and he was the one who created the dwarves. And I'm not sure if we've actually read that or not, and I mean, I know we will later in the game, but I don't want to do that part first, so we can go ahead and just put that answer in. Mahal knows that Balin's question concerns the greatest mansion of the Nogrim. Mahal, he just said that. The axe of the eldest of the 7 may be obtained when the hammer, anvil, and chisel are put in place. He said that as well. So in this area, it's kind of weird. You just approach this wall. A voice out of everywhere speaks. Only the Nogrim and old friends may pass within sight of Durin's axe, until golden hammer, anvil, and chisel are returned to the Nogrim's stone hands. And if you try to keep going without putting the tools in all the proper places, everyone who's not a dwarf or doesn't have dwarf lore will take some damage. So we'll go around the outside here. This stony dwarf seems to be missing his hammer. So these are the places you need to put the golden tools, so we'll give him the hammer. And there must be 2 more for the chisel and anvil. This dwarf seems to lack a chisel. So we'll give him that, and so the final one must be over here. This dwarf has no anvil. So now the tools are in their right place, and so we can approach the ghost here in the middle. There's a ghost on top of the platform. I was Loney. Now I am the guardian of Durin's axe, it says. Only those with the proper sign will be permitted to obtain the axe. Well, remember the word of power we found, the sign of 7. So maybe that's the sign he's looking for. Durin's axe falls to the floor, where the blade becomes lodged, waiting for someone to pick it up. So we finally found it. So we'll definitely want to equip that to Gimli. We already read that, and we already put the items in their proper place, so it's all good. That's all we need to do in Durin's Deep here. So you'll just want to go back the way you came. Back to the rope. And you would think that climbing down with the rope and having it hanging there for you to climb back up on would take it out of your inventory, but it actually doesn't, thankfully, because we'll need to use it again pretty soon. So we come back to the rope and climb it, and now we can go into this other stone slab. But it seems to be already open. Maybe since we pried this one open, it did this one as well. And so once again, we can use the rope here. Otherwise, we'll take some damage. Seem to have found some spider webs. Suddenly, huge spiders spring down from cracks in the ceiling and attack. So we have more spiders, like we did up on the 4th level. I also have the feeling that we'll get the same scenario with more spiders coming down. Yep, sure enough. And there's the last of them. All is quiet. The floor is covered with the bloated corpses of dead spiders. A mass of spider webbing has fallen from the ceiling and is smothering you. You can barely stay on your feet. Well, that's why we hung on to the spider sword. We know it's pretty successful in dealing with webbing, so we can use it again. You can also burn it off with the Firefinger spell or a torch, I think, but that will also injure everybody in the party. So we're actually now in the caves up on the 6th level. There's more red fungus here if you want to get it. I think we have plenty, so I'm not going to. But if you do, there it is. So we're on the same level as the healing pools, but I don't think anyone needs any healing. Probably healed us when we got the axe, so I think we're okay right now. So the last level we haven't explored is the 7th level, and since now we're back up on the 6th level, we're right beneath it. So the Hall of the First Fathers, yeah. Oh, if you just heads up, if you don't feel like going back down through the slab to get to Durin's axe, if you come back up here after you defeat the Moria Doom Spirit and use Durin's pick again, it will take you into the room with the ghost. Pretty much using Durin's pick there will take you to the next thing you need to do to get the axe, which is kind of helpful. We've been ascending higher, so now we are on the 7th level and the highest level. Well, that's more like it. 2 orcs this time. This is the only thing of note here on the 2nd level. Your feet disturb a deep dust on the floor, and you stumble among things lying in the doorway, whose shapes you cannot, at first, make out. A table in the middle of the room, a great oblong block of white stone, is carved with dwarf runes, deeply graven. It's like a tomb, one of you comments. Brushing aside the dust, you read, Balin, son of Fundin, lord of Moria. He is dead then, another of you comments. I feared it was so. Upon closer examination, the room reveals its secrets. This is Mazarbel, the hall of records of old. We have come too high. We are on the 7th level. To the east, a small passageway opens upon a stair that leads sharply down. All around you are the signs of ancient battle, broken swords and axe heads, cloven shields and helms. Whatever was once here is now gone and plundered. There's a large book on a stone block before you. There may be something useful we can find in it. There are many damaged pages than one reads briefly. By Mahal, who created the Nogrim. Trails off. Well, maybe we can find something else useful in it.
Balin, son of Fundin, lord of Moria. They did come back. It seems to be a record of the colony.
Orc swords. There was a great battle here.
Yes. Balin is now lord of Moria. Here it says, we found Mithril. Now it says, yesterday, Balin, lord of Moria, fell. An orc shot him from behind a stone. We slew the orc, but many more. And it says, we have barred the gates. And something about the Watcher in the water. What do you hear? That I feel. It is grim reading. They have taken the bridge. They are coming. We cannot get out. Drums. Drums in the deep. There is nothing more.
Well, there may be something on a page we haven't noticed yet. The book continues on an unsullied page. Lest it fall into evil hands, we took Durin's mighty axe and hid it where few would find it, protected by many traps and guardians. So well did we disguise it that only by means of Galadriel's token would one find it again. This token we cast into the shaft of Durin's chimney. A large force of orc soldiers is coming to the west door, advancing quickly. Well, it seems like they've found us. Now, through the east door. It's our only chance. If you stick around, I think you get attacked by more orcs, so we might as well make our escape. And now it seems the orc forces are kind of onto us now, so I think it's time for us to escape Moria, now that we have everything we need, but I think we will do that in the next video.